Hello everyone. The story I'm going to share today is the magic of stubborn Liu. During the Qing Dynasty, there was a man named Liu. No one knew where he came from or how old he was. He always wore tattered clothes and even went out in the bitter cold of winter wearing thin clothes. People only knew that if he wanted to do something, no one would stop him. So they called him Stubborn Liu. During the reign of Emperor Kangxi, he was seen in Tongzhou City. He often uses enigmatic, cryptic language to predict other people's fates, and his predictions were often surprisingly accurate after they came to pass. There was an old man named Wen. When he was more than 80 years old, one day he met Liu, who smiled at him, said, "Little Wen, you promised to give me a robe. It's time that you give it to me." Old Wen was very surprised. The next day, he bought a robe and gave it to Liu. Someone asked him why he had indulged Liu's wish. Old Wen said, "When I was 15 years old, all the parents had dinner together, and Liu was there as well. When he saw me, he said, 'This boy will live long.' I joked with him and said, 'If I live to be over 80 years old, I will give you a robe.' When I recall that day, it still seems like it happened yesterday, but Liu still looks the same." After they heard Wen's story, everyone tried to calculate Liu's age. They decided that he must be over 100 years old. Some people speculated that he might be an immortal. One time, the army had an urgent letter that needed to be sent to Jinmen, but it was already very late in that day. Liu came to them and volunteered to deliver the letter. He took the letter that evening and returned the following morning. The distance between Tong State and Jinmen was over 100 miles, but Liu traveled there and back overnight. It was truly extraordinary. Another time, when Liu was traveling with his friends, they became hungry. They discovered that no one had brought lunch. Liu caused a big pot to appear. He asked his friends to collect some stones and mountain spring water to put inside the pot. Next, he lit some dry wood and began to cook. After a while, he took the lid off the pot and said, "It's done." He took out the contents, which looked and tasted like yam, and gave it to his friends. One of them hid a piece to study it later, but it had already turned back to stone. Later, Liu disappeared. People believed that he was immortal and that he had returned to his own world. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.